Semen retention is a trap if you don't understand the 4 dimensions of who you are, okay? Because chances are you're watching this video, you already know that semen retention is a practice that will provide you with a lot of benefits on every category of your life, but you just can't get yourself to go through this practice. You can't get yourself to retain. You have become addicted to the cheap thrill of dopamine that comes when we orgasm, okay? And by the end of this video, you will understand exactly why that is the case. The 4 dimensions of who you are, once you have a grasp over them, is when you become the master of yourself. And then that sets the stage for you to become the master of your reality, right? There's no greater mastery than mastery over oneself, as a wise man once said. Don't remember that wise man's name, okay? Now understand that when you have an intention, right? You have an intention to retain your seed. You see all the benefits, but you just can't follow through with it. It's because you are lacking in your warrior. Okay, there's an excellent book that I recommend every single man read. It's called King, Warrior, Lover, Magician, right? By Robert Moore. He's a Jungian psychoanalyst, and he talks about the archetypes of self-mastery, the archetypes of the mature masculine. And when you are lacking in your warrior is when you can't get yourself to do what you know you're supposed to do, right? Now, each one of these dimensions is linked to every other one of these dimensions, and the question is, why don't you do what you know you are supposed to do, right? The magician aspect of who we are has the thinking aspect, right? It's like the magician aspect of us thinks about what we want, about our future, about why we do what we do, right? Asking these questions, really diving deep into intellectual curiosity. But when the warrior is not activated is when, no matter what we're thinking, we can't do what we know we're supposed to do, okay? And if this is the case with you, I think that the problem really is with the lover aspect of who you are, right? The lover aspect is about the feeling aspect of who you are, and so many times you know what to do, but you don't feel like doing what you know you're supposed to do, right? You know you're going to get a lot of benefits. You know this is what you need to do. You know that this is a destructive behavior pattern that you keep engaging on again and again and again, but your body has become conditioned to favor that cheap thrill, and therefore you are actually hyper activating this lover aspect of who you are. You are becoming what Robert Moore would talk about as the addicted lover. Understand that these are all virtues, right? King, warrior, lover, magician, these are all virtues. These are all the golden mean that explain each one of these dimensions. When the feeling aspect of ourselves is overactivated, right? The excess of a virtue becomes a vice. The deficiency of a virtue becomes a vice. But the problem is that your lover aspect has become overly activated, whereby you are acting through the lens of how you feel. You cannot act greater than how you feel, and therefore you have become a slave to how you feel rather than a slave to your vision for the future, right? We are all going to worship something at the end of the day. We're all going to follow a certain course and a certain path, but the question is whether that path was chosen by us or we are being walked down that path subconsciously, unconsciously. Okay, so what are you to do about this, right? If you think that you know you're supposed to do this and you can't get yourself to do it, your warrior is not activated, it's because your lover has become addicted to that cheap thrill, the feeling aspect of who you are. It really comes back to the king aspect of who you are, the being aspect of who you are. That is where all transformation begins, right? Starting with who you intend to be, getting clear on what values you intend to embody, right? If self-discipline is a value that you want to embody, then you have to reprogram that into your mind little by little, step by step, by keeping commitments to yourself and following through with them, right? And that's really what it comes down to, starting with the being. Who do you want to be, right? Having clarity, crystal clarity. The more clarity that you have on who you want to be, what the king version of you looks like, the more you can experience it in the moment, right here, right now. If you activate the king, you get clear on who you want to be, then you can think your way into feeling differently. Okay, I hope you're picking up what I'm putting down right now. You can think your way into feeling differently, whereby you are able to experience the future in the present moment by closing your eyes and thinking differently. And as the saying goes, your body, your neurotransmitters, your hormones, your internal systems cannot tell the difference between an experience that was generated through thought and an experience that was generated through real life physical senses, right? That is the power of our thought. And then you can really tap into the king aspect of who you are. What does the ideal version of you look like in terms of your health, in terms of your wealth, in terms of your relationships, in terms of your spirituality, in terms of everything? Get clear on that. Who do you want to be? What character traits do you want to embody? And then think about the future, how it looks like. Paint a clear, vivid picture in your mind that will allow you to feel differently as well. And as a result of that, when you feel differently, when you see that future, when you experience that future in the present moment, is when you actually take action in alignment with that, because you know it's real to you, right? It's real to you because you actually experienced it. And therefore, you are motivated, right? You have a motive for acting in alignment with that vision in the future. Okay, and if you don't do that, then you will consistently just be down that slippery slope towards doing things that don't serve you, and you will consistently just keep on going down this path of letting go of your life force energy and not having any of it left over to creatively create a life that you love. Now, I know that it can become a negative feedback loop, because if you let go of your life force energy, then you have none left over to creatively imagine that future. But just do this, and I can tell you that if you really go through this practice, then you can really transform your life at the end of the day. Okay, and if you're someone who is serious, ready, committed, and willing to invest in yourself over the next year, right? Actually 2021, right? We're going live with the Monk Mode Challenge. The next round of the Monk Mode Challenge, we're coming together as a community to go through a step-by-step roadmap that allows us to get clarity on that future, that allows us to hold each other accountable, that allows us to let go of information overload and implement what we're supposed to do every single day. I'm also going to be sharing with you a technique that I've never shared on this YouTube channel publicly on how to instantly end destructive habits. Okay, it's called the change technique, and it's something that can totally elevate your life. Now, if you are someone who is ready, committed, willing, and able to invest in yourself and create massive momentum for 2021, because I know that you have been consuming a lot of information in 2020, but let's make 2021 where you actually implement all of that information and create transformation in your life. Okay, now if that's you, then I encourage you to click the link below in the description or open up a new tab. Go to monkmodechallenge.com, where we're coming together in a community, like I said, to guide you through this 30-day journey of self-illumination, where I'm not going to be giving you more information, but rather giving you a roadmap that you will be walking through every single day, so that you can uncover the deep wisdom that is already within you and get clear on the action plan that you need in order to consistently do what you know you need to do. Okay, so you can click the link below, you can open up a new tab, go to monkmodechallenge.com. Whether you decide to join, whether you decide not to join, understand that the process I've outlined in this video, watch the video again if you need to, it can be the difference between you going down the path of destructive behavior patterns and finally putting an end to them. Okay, but the power is always in your hands. So with that being said, I'm going to leave you in the peace and power of the one infinite creator, and I'll catch you in the next one. Much love to you. Take care.